Lenny and Domhnall, it's wonderful to see you again, and congratulations on The Little Stranger. First of all, when the three of us chatted before, as collectively, as a group, for Frank, I think about 4 years ago, Lenny, you were saying that the process of bringing out a new film and watching it with an audience was like being peeled in front of everybody. And Domhnall made that exact face when you said that as well.
Yeah, that is, it remains disgusting.
It's actually Mark O'Halloran's analogy. He says like peeling a prawn. That's what he feels like.
Oh, God.
It's a great description.
That is so hard.
But I was wondering, what's the unpeeling process been like for The Little Stranger?
That's an interesting question. I haven't had the experience of watching it with a big audience yet, and I've avoided that because it is a really nerve-wracking thing. But I like the effect the film has. I have watched it with audiences at various points along the way of, leading up to finishing it, and I've loved the effect on audiences because they get really quiet and very involved, and so it's a kind of it feels solid as a film, atmospherically and in terms of how it unfolds. So I feel maybe a little bit more my external skeleton is still intact at the moment.
You haven't been fully peeled.
I haven't been fully peeled.
Fully peeled. Well, Domhnall, you can look forward to being peeled with some audience at some point.
I do. Yeah, I look forward to it very much.
You both know what it's like to be involved in adaptations of best-selling books, but obviously that jump from the book to the big screen. Have you had any particularly interesting encounters with rabid book lovers in the past, whether it was for Room or Brooklyn or anything like that?
Generally, if the film is successful, even if it's slightly different to the book, people will be okay with it. I mean, but in this case, I think it's unusual in that, Sarah Waters is such a fan of it, and the people who have loved the book, who've gone to see it, have actually really enjoyed it as well and have felt it remains true to it. So generally, I don't think I've had a bad one.
No, and because Sarah's been so it's given it her stamp, I think that gives permission to people who love the book to go and watch it and not be sort of waiting to pick holes or whatever.
Be offended on her behalf,
exactly.
Sort of thing, yeah.
And with Room, generally speaking, really, really positive. The only time I had anybody who didn't sort of respond so well, it was somebody who had decided to read the book on the plane to the festival to see the film.
Good move.
And which I thought was a terrible mistake because it's right in your head. And I don't think it's possible for a film to clear away that level of kind of, imagined stuff in the way that it needs to.
So there's always one.
There's always one.
And there's a particularly scary scene with the attack on a young child in the film. Whenever you're filming something like that, I don't know how many takes you do, obviously, but is there a moment where you think to yourself, I think we've got it, in terms of the right level of scariness? Because obviously it has to go through edits and everything else.
Yeah.
But
well, the thing about that scene is you don't see the event itself; it's off camera. So that was one thing. And then, because the way we shot that sequence, we shot it. The scene before it is very structured, but that scene itself, we wanted to inject with a kind of different sort of energy. So we shot it handheld, and so there's a way, it's so much of that's going to get made in the edit that you don't have to be quite so precise about how much in the frame do I see that. If it's too much, you just won't use that bit. But actually, those things in this film were really quite easy to do. The stuff that was hard in A Little Stranger is the really delicate drama stuff between the characters, because it is ultimately really a drama, and it's a very unusual one and a very subtle one. And the relationship between Domhnall and Ruth being at the center of the story is the one that was the one we really had to work on most carefully.
now, Domhnall, obviously you've played bad men before. In a way, Faraday, I suppose, is kind of a more mundane kind of bad man. Well, that's the way I was kind of reading him anyway. But between your other villainous characters, are you just slowly moving into I just want people to dislike me and be frightened of me in general? Or do you feel this kind of, I'm going through a period of I like these kind of characters?
One too many kind of, wrong orders given to me in restaurants, and I've decided if people were more scared, maybe I'd get what I ordered.
Maybe you get what you want.
Yeah, I think that's the level. I wouldn't think of him as being a bad man. I think he's got badness in him the way that everybody does. I just think that the society that he grew up in, the family he grew up in, has planted a lot of seeds in him that have the potential of kind of really not turning into very nice trees. Is that
Yeah,
a,
right.
Is that a metaphor I've done there?
Seeds, acorns
The orchard of
his childhood could lead to a rotten apple.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
Fucking
beautiful.
nailed it. Now, if you don't mind me saying that, it's
Now,
just killer.
I should be writing that down.
That's the next
Somebody
one.
will, yeah.
That's the next one. Whenever you were both growing up, was there a particular moment from a film, whether it is a scary film or not, but a particular scene or character that just has, still to this day, from your childhood, has just haunted you?
The child catcher in, what's the name of that movie?
Chitty Chitty Bang
Chitty
Bang.
Chitty
Yeah,
Bang
he was
Bang.
awful.
Yeah, he was really scary. I think it's probably films around that period for me as well. I think stuff that happens to you when you're about 6 or 7. It's always the
yeah.
stuff that sticks. But then I remember probably watching something from a horror on telly when I shouldn't have at some point, and I've got an image of like a dark doorway which I can go to in my head, but I don't know what the movie was. Or maybe it was real.
Very possibly real.
I'll be back.
Are you excited about each other's upcoming projects? Because obviously you've talked about those, and obviously you can't tell us anything about anything ever.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I know that you're doing the Sally Rooney adaptation because that's been made public, and I'm very excited about that.
Public, it's fine, we can talk
yeah,
about
exactly.
that, yeah.
And you know about the boxing film, which is...
And I know about the boxing film, which, I think is going to be amazing. So, yeah, anything that Lenny's doing, I will be excited about. But there's no point me getting excited now. Got to wait till closer when it comes out, so it's a manageable level of, I can't wait to see that.
Well, I feel the same about Domhnall's work. I know some of the things he's doing at the moment, but I also know that because the turnaround is more, actors can make more films,
Yeah.
you know. So I will definitely be, very keen to see what comes next.
I believe Lenny is this movie Little Stranger coming out. That's meant to be very, very good.
Yeah,
so I'm
which
looking forward to seeing that.
I will
People
check
should-
that out.
People should check that
People
out.
should check that one out.
IMDb says you're filming at the moment. How is filming going? That's great. Well, listen, best of luck with The Little Stranger. Thanks for that, Lenny. Lovely to see you again. And Domhnall, cheers. Thank you.
Thanks a million.
She's here.
That's impossible.
Your mind is playing tricks. Susan is a memory. It can all be explained.
How innocent you are. I'm worried, Doctor. Last night he said he could smell smoke. I couldn't smell anything.
His delusions seemed almost contagious. Someone's playing games. People are capable of nasty impulses.
There's something in this house that hates us. You do not belong here.
Oh yes, there'll be tricks tonight.
What happened next is a mystery to me.